Well, welcome back to the Lollie Markie Show. I hope you've tuned in to all our different bits of our road journey so far, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. It helps our channel grow immensely, and it doesn't cost you a penny. Um, so, where are we so far? So, we've travelled up from Miami, up through Orlando, Crystal River, St. Petersburg, and now we're in the Everglades City. Very strange place. Go back and have a look at yesterday's vlog where we drove into the city. There's going to be another one or two after this one around Everglades. Next one I think will be us just doing the rest of Everglades. But here we've just got up in the morning and we've gone to Captain Jack's airboat ride. So that was me paying. Sorry about the camera. Just for some reason we took it in portrait, not landscape, and it just didn't work when I tried to expand it. So anyway, you pay for that one side. I'll drop in the prices when I find them. I think it was about $50 or $40, and it was this, and it included this and a trip to the park. So you get in your airboat. There you go. There we are, strapped in. And it doesn't take long for them to put the foot down and wallop. So this is virtually most of the ride, what you're going to see. We just zoom through. Now, when you're in the Everglades, there's two types we discovered of airboat rides. There's the forest, which is this, and then the grasslands, which is the one you probably see, where they zoom across the grasslands and all that. And that was the one we thought we'd booked, but obviously not. And with us only being there 2 nights, we didn't really have the time to go and do the other one, although we would have done. So anyway, as I said, it's taking the airboat and just takes you through the mangroves like this at high speed. And it was good laugh, good fun. As you can hear, it's quite noisy, so we were all given earphones and little walkie-talkies, but to be honest, you don't really get a chance to hear anything. We did do a more sedate boat ride a couple of years ago in the Bayou in New Orleans, and we got to see loads of animals. I'll keep this as a surprise. You can guess in the comments below how many crocs we do see, or sorry, how many gators we do see, and how many we don't see, and what else do we see, and what else would you thought we would have seen. But yeah, it was good laugh, good fun. It was one of the first rides of the day, about 9 o'clock in the morning or 9:30 in the morning. So, and it was chocker. So make sure you go. And my advice would have been to pre-book. We should have pre-booked it. We just took a wing and a prayer and paid at the gate door, as you just seen. But yeah, it's good. The guy didn't tell us that much whilst we were zooming around, bits and bobs. But yeah, just look at that. It's just like zooming through these trees, the mangroves bent over, so it's like tunnel after tunnel. So it's quite surreal when you're going through it. And they take you on what looks like a huge loop, and there's crisscrossing and all that. And you'll see different things as we're going around. So there we are again. Oh, there's Lollipop nearly losing their hat. But yeah, and then you suddenly come out into these big lagoons, and you'll do a bit of moving around, high-speed turns and things like that. But yeah, it was really good. How on earth they know where they're going, God knows. But anyway, but we will put the original US trip that we did around the music probably later on this year. It was done in 2014, that one, so the pair of us look very young, and is what I can say. But if you go to the Everglades, this is one of the things you do, and it was a good laugh. We had a really jolly time, as they say. But yeah, they take you on a really good trip around. Strangely enough, though, when they halfway around, you punch out across these like little harbour things, little piers, and they have to go quite slow through these, I believe. You can hear us in the background there trying to talk to other people on the boat. the noise is a bit quiet at the moment. But you can see there's a little few boats, all of us together. But yeah, we just go through these little like patches quite slowly. Gives you an opportunity just to catch your breath, really. Um, Imagine living in one of these. I mean, they're absolutely massive RVs he had at the side as well, so the RVs would come and then park up. But you'll see as soon as we get past this section, you can hear the motors just starting to wind up a bit. But yeah, through this. But as you can see from the boat in front of us, it's just like a plank of wood with chairs on and a big dirty fan at the back, and it just goes hell for leather. It really is a must-do thing when you're in the Everglades, to be honest. You shouldn't, if you're going all that way, do it. And I believe if you're staying in Orlando or you're staying in that neck of the woods, they'll do ones up that net there. And if you're in Miami, we're only about just over an hour and a half from Miami here, and you can do trips from Miami, and it will just bring you into the edge of the Everglades, because you're literally about 30 minutes from Miami into the middle of the Everglades, and you can do all the trips. And they're more grass, as I've said. This is quite deep into the heart of the Everglades where we were, which is Everglades City. Didn't even know they had a city until we started searching where to stay in the Everglades. Very expensive though, so again, just go back and have a look on the other ones on yesterday's vlog. I'll put some details about where we stayed and what it was like. But yeah, as I just said, when you're going through, shall we say, residential areas, a bit like back in the UK when you're going back through an area where there's a little town, we drop the speed down to 30 miles an hour, and then once we're through it, you'll watch him wallop the speed up again. So a couple of things that I would advise is later on in the day, you're probably better, and a hotter day. This time in the morning, because it was first thing and it was quite cool. Wildlife spotting, as you've seen, has been difficult to say the least. I'm trying to hold on to the camera with grim death. I think it's me filming, or Lollipop's filming. One of the two of us is filming, obviously. But it's really hard to try and just try and hold it in a balanced way that doesn't really hurt your hands as well. We've got gimbals and stuff like that nowadays, so it makes life much easier. But yeah, I mean, really lovely. I mean, just look at that, just take that in. Really is a magical place. I mean, look at that house there. You wouldn't want to live there. Feed the gators, snapping turtles, the snakes. Oop, move your thumb, idiot. It's just a fabulous place, though, to think this is on our planet and just in the US. Wow, just unreal. In terms of weather-wise on the day, it was quite, was warmish, but it's cool. not as hot as it got later on in the day. And in the next vlog, we'll take you on the circular and show you what wildlife you can just see in the car as you're driving around the Everglades. I think he's just keeping that speed as well because he's trying to see if he can see any gators floating around first thing in the morning. So I've waffled on enough. What I'm going to do is make sure you go and get a nice drink, get your earphones on, because I'm going to whack the sound up and you can have the full-blown experience for the other half of this tour. So enjoy. must admit, as we're in and out, diving in and out of these sort of tunnels of mangroves, it is really good. It does. Oh, there's jumping fish. Loads of things to see and experience here, and it's amazing. It is really an amazing experience, and I highly recommend. I haven't already said, this is part of Walton's Everglade group of airboats. So this is Captain Jack's, this one's called, but it's part of the same group. So you do it and then you go to the animal sanctuary afterwards as well, which, to be honest, is okay. They do a good crocodile holding experience, alligator holding experience. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm watching this back now and I'm ducking and diving and I'm bending on the chair. It is really, really cool what goes on with these. But yeah, let's get back to it and see what we can see. absolutely awesome. This is, it's just like one straight road but on the water, all the way through these mangroves, how they've overgrown and interlocked above, just absolutely stunning. And then all of a sudden they open up onto these little open lagoons. We slow down a bit here just in case we can see the odd gator or the odd turtle, or even a couple of birds in the trees. I will say though, we were really unlucky not to see anything, but we believe it was because of the time of the day, a bit early, a bit overcast, a bit cool. So everything was still trying to warm up somewhere, more directly in the sun, hence why we didn't even see anything floating around up to this point in time. But yeah, fantastic, absolutely awesome. No idea what I was pointing at then either. But put the comments, put your answers in the comments below. Anyway, let's get back into this traffic jam that we suddenly found ourselves in. I mean, it's just chaos. Chaos is just like being back in the city, back home. You gotta give it to these drivers. They really did try to find anything or something, and they were in and out of all the different openings, or right up close to the edge. They were doing different speeds, giving us that exhilaration through the mangrove tunnels. And then when we did come up to the open bits, did really take their time, slow right down, and try to quieten everything down as best they could. It's absolutely amazing, to be honest. Really fascinating to go through it. Like I said, I said at the start, this wasn't the one we actually did want to book. The one that everyone sees. Look at that. Whoa, that amazing. He's trying to get some life going there. But like I said, the one we actually wanted was the one you see on Old Telly, which is the one that goes over the grasslands. We could have done it. We just did not have the time to do it. There were so many different things to do, and obviously you got to factor in the driving and the distance between these things. And we'll put in when we went around the loop as well. When we drove around that's really good. We saw lots on that, to be fair. But we did that late at night. But that'll be in the next vlog after this. Again, just absolutely brilliant. Just watching this zooming through. Heads down. But anyway, let's carry on. Okay? Right then, folks, so that's about it now with the exhilarating part, the zooming around. We're just coming past this old man-made jetty, as you can see, a walkway. So you could walk along here if you wanted to get up and close and personal to the swamp. There's lots of opportunities to do that, but as you can start seeing, we're all starting to get in our allotted position to take the airboats back. But overall, absolutely amazing. Really is an experience that you should all do when you're coming out to the Everglades. And again, it depends what you want. I mean, the grasslands, I think we'd have gone at 9 a.m. on the grasslands, may have seen a few more birds, but not much else, simply because it's too cold. It was too cool. So best time to do it, I'd say, is later on in the day, would be my recommendation. I haven't got the booking details of this, but I think if I said we paid about $40 each, $30 each, something like that, I don't think I'd be too wrong. Although I've got this niggle in the back of my brain that I think it was about $100 each. I don't think it was that, or $100 for the two of us, I should say. Anyway, really good. There you see there's a couple of little ones running along the causeway there. So again, you know, it's, there's lots of little things to go and do if you just don't want to do the airboat. From here, we come off the boat and we get given tickets to go around Wooten Animal Farm place. I didn't do any filming in there. Don't ask me why. I've got lots of little pictures of us standing by crocs. By gators, but basically you go in and it's fairly okay size. They've got a lot of gators in there, many in a miles better one in Tunisia, which I'll show you in a future vlog. But they had right in the corner, and again, I wish I'd took pictures, but I was kind of really ashamed of it. There was a lion that looked like he needed a bit of help and assistance. So I don't know if they've rescued it from the fair. I don't remember reading much about it, and we didn't ask. But anyway, they have a gator show. You have a guy going in and doing wrestling and moving and putting his hands in a gator's mouth, as they do out there. But he was really good. I mean, the problem was he was in a cage and it was heaving, so that's probably why I didn't tape it. And I didn't have my gimbal, so I couldn't stick the camera up in the air, which would have been perfect. But hey, we learn and live for future vlogs. But yeah, really chuffed. As you can see, we got right at the front of the boat, which was just absolutely awesome. But here's a bit of a stadium seating on the boat, so whether you sat in our row or the one behind us, as you've seen other boats, you get a brilliant view wherever you are. But yeah, as we just cruising along here, we'll come along a little patch in a minute, just before we pulled in, where all the RVs park, and it's absolutely amazing. Some massive RVs parked right along the water edge. And yeah, well, like I said, I quickly just took a few, I think it was Lollipop who filmed it quickly, just as we were coming in. And because for being from the UK, RV life and the size of these RVs is something that we're just totally alien to, so we found it absolutely fascinating. But yeah, there's the boats now on the way out. But overall, an amazing experience and fantastic time. And I think we're on it about 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes. As an experience, well, you'll see these RVs coming up in a second, any minute now. Well, there you go. So from the Lollie Markie Show, if you haven't already subscribed and you've got this far, please subscribe. It helps the channel immensely, and a huge thanks from the pair of us. And on that note, I think I'll leave it to Lollipop to close the show.